Hello students, welcome to my educational channel Easy Ed. Today we will continue with bryophytes. We have discussed general characters of bryophytes in last video and today we will take its classification. So bryophytes or group Bryophyta is divided into two groups, liverworts and mosses. Means bryophytes include liverworts and mosses. First we will study about liverworts. Liverworts general characteristics. Liverworts grow usually in moist and shady habitats. Wherever you will find moist, damp areas, bryophytes will be habitant there. So liverworts are found in moist and shady habitats such as banks of streams, marshy ground, damp soil, barks of trees and deep in wood. Wherever moist, marshy and damp conditions are found. Plant body of liverworts is thalloid. We have discussed it earlier in algae and also in the general characteristics of bryophytes. Plant body is thalloid means plant body is not differentiated into root, stem or leaves. Now this thallus of liverwort is dorso-ventrally flattened. You can say dorso-ventral means it's flattened in nature. So thallus of liverworts is dorso-ventral, closely uppressed to the substrate. We have studied that bryophytes are attached to the substratum with the help of rhizoids. Rhizoids are root-like structures but they are not true roots. So thallus is dorsiventral. Dorsiventral means almost flattened. It is closely uppressed to the substrate. Now the leafy members of liverworts have tiny leaf-like appendages arranged in two rows on stem-like structure. We have studied that plant body is thalloid, true root, stem, leaves are absent, but bryophytes show somewhat differentiation and they bear root-like, leaf-like and stem-like structures. So, in the leafy members of liverworts, what happens? Tiny leaf-like appendages are present in two rows on stem-like structures. Now coming to the asexual reproduction of liverworts. Asexual reproduction takes place by two ways. One is fragmentation. Fragmentation we have studied so many times. The plant body is divided into different fragments. Fragments shed off from the parent body and each fragment grows into a new thallus. So one type of asexual reproduction is by fragmentation and one more type of reproduction, asexual reproduction, is shown in liverworts, that is by gamete. Gamete. Now what is gamete? Gamete singularly we say it as a Gemma. These gamete are specialized structures. Gamete are specialized structures. They are green, they are multicellular and they are asexual buds. Means Gemma is a bud-like structure and it is asexual bud. So it is green, multicellular, asexual bud which develops in small receptacles, in small structures which is called as Gemma cup. That means small receptacles, small structures called as Gemma cups are formed on the thallus and from these Gemma cup, Gemma or gamete plural are produced in the thallus. Okay, in the thallus Gemma cup is there. Inside the Gemma cup, gamete or asexual buds or singular Gemma is produced, and this the gamete, when detached from the parent body, parent thallus, it germinates to form a new individual, a new thallus. So this is important here. Asexual reproduction by gamete. Gemma are present in thallus, are produced in thalli. Inside the gamma cup, green multicellular asexual buds arise. They are called as Gemma as singular and Gemmi as plural. They then detach from the parent body and germinate into a new thallus or new individual. Now coming to the sexual reproduction, we have all studied it many times here. In Bryophyta we have studied the whole sexual cycle. What happens? Male and female sex organs are produced either on the same or on the different thalli. Okay, in sexual reproduction, fusion of male and female gamete will take place, and where this male and female gamete will be produced, these male and female gametes will be produced in male and female reproductive organs respectively. So these sex organs, male and female sex organs, may be produced either on the same thallus or on different thalli. Now, sexual reproduction, you all know by now that it includes the fusion of male and female gametes. Male and female gametes fuse to form zygote. Zygote develops to form sporophyte. We have studied that zygote does not undergo meiosis here. It grows and develops into sporophyte. This sporophyte now develops, it grows, and it is differentiated into foot, seta and capsule. Remember, general characters we have studied. The sporophyte body comprises of foot, seta and capsule. A plant body is attached to the substratum with the help of what? Rhizoids. Now this sporophyte grows and forms a capsule at the apical portion. This capsule, now this is known as foot, this is known as seta, and this is known as capsule. This sporophyte body is comprises of foot, seta and capsule. Now this capsule, it bears spores. Spores are produced in this capsule. This capsule undergoes, some cells inside the capsule undergo meiosis and they produce spores. Spores are haploid and these spores grow into a new free living gametophyte. Remember, the sporophyte is attached to the body of the gametophyte for food. These spores are haploid and they give rise to the new free living gametophyte. They germinate into a gametophyte. So this was the liverworts. Next we will study mosses. Next group of bryophytes is mosses. Now again, general characters of mosses. Main plant body is gametophyte. We have studied so far in bryophytes. The gametophyte is the dominant stage of the life cycle. So in mosses, gametophyte is the predominant stage of life cycle of moss. That means gametophyte, the plant body is called as gametophyte. And here now see some complications are arising from these stages. This gametophyte, this life cycle of moss is gametophyte which consists of two stages. What are the two stages of gametophyte of mosses? Protonema and leafy stage. Now see, the gametophyte, the life cycle in gametophyte of mosses has two stages. What are they? Protonema, that is primary, preliminary, and then there is leafy stage. Protonema is the first stage which develops directly from spores. Just now we have studied that as a result of sexual reproduction, male and female gametes fuse together. They form zygote. Zygote grows into sporophyte. In the sporophyte body, in its capsule, what happens? Meiosis takes place and spores are formed. These spores are liberated and they form a new thallus, new gametophyte. So the first stage of the gametophyte, that is protonema, is formed from what? Spores. It develops directly from spores. Means in mosses, spores develop or germinate to form the thallus gametophyte, and that particular stage is called as protonema. It is a creeping, green, branched and frequently filamentous stage. Means protonema stage of the mosses is green in color, it is in creeping form, it is branched, and often, frequently, it is a filamentous stage. Protonema is formed directly from the spores. Then comes the leafy stage. Leafy stage is the second stage and it develops from the secondary protonema. Protonema grows into a somewhat complex stage, advanced stage called as secondary protonema, and this secondary protonema, it develops a lateral bud and forms the leafy stage. So this is the second stage which develops from the secondary protonema as a lateral bud, and this leafy stage consists of an upright, that means straight, slender axis bearing spirally arranged leaves and are attached to the soil with the help of rhizoids. Alright, and these leafy stage bears sex organs. Alright, so life cycle of mosses, main plant body, main part is gametophyte, which is predominant. It includes two stages. First stage is protonema, developing directly from spores. It is a creeping green branched filamentous structure. Protonema grows and forms secondary protonema. This secondary protonema forms the second stage of gametophyte life cycle, that is leafy stage. Leafy stage is upright, erect. It bears an upright, erect axis which bears leaves and is attached to the substratum with the help of rhizoids. These rhizoids here are multicellular and branched. Rhizoids in mosses are multicellular and branched, and this stage, means leafy stage, bears sex organs. Now coming to the vegetative reproduction in mosses, vegetative reproduction takes place by two ways. One is fragmentation, again we have studied so many times, and other is budding. Budding also we have studied in bacteria. A bud-like structure arises from the main plant body, main thallus. A bud-like structure arises and this bud then detaches from the parent body. See, suppose this is the thallus. A bud-like structure will arise. This bud will detach from the plant body and it will grow into a complete thallus. So, vegetative reproduction here in mosses is by two ways. One is fragmentation and other is budding. And both these types, means the vegetative reproduction takes place in secondary protonema. Remember it, vegetative reproduction in mosses takes place in which stage? in secondary protonema and is by two ways. One is fragmentation and other is budding. In sexual reproduction, same thing happens. Sex organs are produced where? Just now we have studied in the leafy stage. The leafy stage bears the sex organs. And what are the sex organs? We have studied in general characters. They are antheridia and archegonia. Antheridia is the male sex organ. Archegonia is the female sex organ. So these sex organs are produced in the leafy shoot, that is the leafy stage. Antheridia male and archegonia female. These antheridia and archegonia produce male and female gametes respectively. Male and female gametes in sexual reproduction fuse to form zygote. Antheridia and archegonia produce male and female gametes. Male and female gametes fuse to form, fertilize to form zygote. And we have studied so many times that zygote here in Bryophyta does not directly undergoes meiosis. It develops, grows into sporophyte. A sporophyte consists of three parts: foot, seta and capsule. Foot, seta and capsule. Inside the capsule, meiosis takes place, and as a result of which spores are formed, and these spores give rise to the new gametophyte. Same thing happens. Male and female gamete fuse together to form zygote. Zygote grows to form sporophyte. Sporophyte is divided into foot, seta and capsule. Inside the capsule, meiosis takes place. Haploid spores are formed which grow to form, germinate to form the gametophyte. Alright, some examples are examples of mosses: Funaria, Polytrichum and Sphagnum. Many times I have told you to learn all these names. All these are asked in exams. See children, life cycle is very important in any plant. Stages of life cycle, you all have to remember them, learn them properly and remember them. They are often asked in questions, exams. So remember the stages of the gametophyte, how they are produced, from which stage they are produced, how they develop into what, and what do they do. Reproduction, which type of reproduction takes place in which stage. All these things are important. Life cycle, the stages, various stages are very important in any plant or any animal. We will study further that. So this is all for today. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.